Good evening, everyone. In the previous session of Global HRD, I was explaining about the HRD mechanism and what are the various activities which are part of HRD. In this session, I am going to explain about the philosophy of HRD. First of all, I am going to explain what does HRD philosophy mean. Then I am going to explain why do a organization need HRD philosophy, what are the various aspects which are needed to be considered in formulation of HRD philosophy. Okay, so let's begin the session. So HRD philosophy, first of all, philosophy actually means the attitude, idea, objective, style of management. Now every management has a philosophy, every organization has a philosophy which they follow in the operations, in the strategy formulation, and in each and every aspect of the organization. It is represented in the vision, mission of the organization. What is the mission of the company, what they want to achieve. Each and every element becomes part of HRD philosophy. Sorry, each and every become part of the philosophy of the organization. Now, what does HRD philosophy means? It means that it actually represents the attitude, idea, strategy, style, objective of the organization with respect to human resource. Means to what extent the organization gives importance to the development of human resource who are part of their organization, the human resource which are part of their organization. Okay, so it focuses, it creates a framework within which the HRD department is to be operated. uh, HRD programs are to be created based on such philosophy. If an organization gives high priority to the development of human resource welfare and the benefits of the human resource, definitely the programs which are created within the organization will be of a high standard. Employees would be very satisfied with the rewards and benefits that they achieve. So it actually represents to what extent HRD, sorry, to what extent an organization gives priority to the development of human resource. So it basically includes all the practices involved in the middle level management, all the activities, training, development programs, the compensation, benefits, each and every element, performance appraisal, each and every element which are part of middle level management uh, is uh, is included in HRD philosophy. Okay, so it gives a clear picture about the goals of HRD effort means to what extent they have set the goals of HR standards within the organization, what are the things they wanted to achieve in terms of development of human resource, and it also helps in creation of a healthy working climate where employees can trust the management, they can share their problems, their issues, what they are facing within the organization. They can go for counseling and various other elements also. So it focuses on creation of such kind of environment which does not lead to any kind of conflict, where there is no such kind of misconception or misunderstanding, and it is an environment of mutual trust where each and every employee is focused on their job, focused on their own development, focused on working as a dedicated employee for the organization. Okay, so that is all about HRD philosophy. Now, what are the four major important elements of HRD philosophy? As you all can see on the screen, there are four important elements of HRD philosophy: human resource, customers, integrity and honesty, and technology. So, human resource is considered to be the most important element because HRD philosophy is actually based on it. Okay, so how they are supposed to be trained, what should be the standards what of human resource, performance of human resource, and each and every element needs to become part of the HRD philosophy. Now these standards, these objectives should be very practical, based on the present capacity and competency of the employees, and whatever things, whatever training program standards created, it must be created to enhance the performance, capability and competency of the employees. It should not they should not do too much for the employees where the employees will feel pressure of doing something where they are not actually capable of doing something, but the company is making them do such kind of things. which is above their capability. So everybody must try to develop themselves based on their capability and competency, and that is going to work only if proper HRD programs are created. So that's why when HRD philosophy is created, the point of view of people working within the organization, what should be appropriate for them, what needs to work for them, these things must be mentioned in the HRD philosophy. That they cannot put too much pressure on them. They need to focus on enhancing their qualities, capabilities, and potential instead of making them go through each and every type of training and development program which will not give any kind of result. They need to understand the present capability, and they need to create such kind of programs which is simply going to enhance their capabilities and competencies. Okay. The next point is customers. Customers are also very important from the organizational point of view, because customers actually help the organization to become successful. If a company is unable to satisfy the customers, definitely their market share will decrease, the competitors will take advantage of such situation, and they will take the consumers or customers of the company. Okay, so how customers are to be satisfied? By providing good products, quality products. They must be charged reasonable price, and the most important thing is the service provided by the company to the consumers or the customers. Now, employees must be taught about customer service, about customer care, so that the customer can be satisfied. The human resource need to also taught about quality management, so that they can develop products at a lower price but belonging to a higher quality product, or they can create good quality product at a lower price so that the consumers can satisfy the needs and demands of the consumers need to be fulfilled by the companies. The company need to understand what do consumers actually want, and then create a product based on that. So these things must be taught to the human resource, so that they can become very much helpful in the satisfaction of the consumers. They can provide such things which can satisfy the consumers. So that's why consumers also play a very important role in the development, or we can say in HRD philosophy. The next one is integrity and honesty. See, integrity and honesty is a most important part, because when a person works within the organization, they must have that kind of environment where they can work honestly, and where they can share their problems, speak about certain kinds of issues which are going on within the organization. So that creation of that climate is very necessary, and that need to be mentioned in the HRD philosophy. They are focusing on the development of human resource, as well as they want to maintain the integrity and level of honesty of the people who are working within the organization, so that they can share honestly their views, their opinions, their point of views, and they can also speak up whenever there is any kind of problem or any kind of situation which is not favorable for the company. Okay, the next one is technology. As you all already know that technology changes on a daily basis, and for that reason the human resource are needed to be upgraded all the time, so that they can understand the new technology. They can they can we can say they can be able to operate the new technology and all that. So for that reason also, technology has also become, needs to also become a part of HRD philosophy, because development of human resource is actually based on the technology thing. Because when new technology is introduced, first of all, human resource are needed to understand about the new technology. How does it work? What are the things they need to learn about the new technology? They need to gain knowledge about the new technology. So that's why new technological advancement also is an integral part of HRD philosophy. Okay. So the next portion which I am going to explain is the need for HRD philosophy. Why do HRD department needs HRD philosophy? First one is for proper execution of HRD program. See, as I already said, if company is not taking very seriously the development of human resource, it will reflect in the HRD program. But even if they create a good HRD program, it needs to be executed properly. Everybody who are part of HRD department needs to take this thing very seriously. They must do what they are supposed to do, for what reason they are appointed within the organization. So that's why a strong HRD policy, strong HRD philosophy will help in proper execution of HRD program. It will see that whatever they have set as a target or a goal is actually achieved by such HRD programs. So it not only helps in execution, but it also helps in creation of HRD programs. Okay. The next one is multi-dimensional development. Now here we are focused on development of human resource, but not in one angle, but in different dimension. We need overall development of human resource, and each and every employee must be developed. The person must become multi-skilled or multi-talented. That needs to be the basic part of HRD department. So that's why multi-dimensional development is a part of HRD philosophy. And in order to achieve that, HRD philosophy is very necessary. Next one is develop sense of belongingness. Like I said, the employees must have a feeling that the company is considering them, company wants to give something to them, company is considering about their welfare and benefit, and that develops a sense of belongingness. So that is the like I said, the point of view, the approach of organization towards the human resource, towards the workforce of the organization is represented in the HRD philosophy, which leads to development of sense of belongingness. So in order to develop that kind of mutual trust, sense of belongingness, HRD is a philosophy of HRD is necessary. The next one is trustworthy environment. So like I said, proper HRD philosophy creates an environment where people are very open, very vocal about their problems, about their issues, what they feel, and also about giving their opinion. So these kind of things creates a trustworthy environment where everyone can share their opinion, their point of view, ideas. They can speak up about any kind of issue in the organization. So it leads to creation of a trustworthy environment, and the working and operations of the organization is done very smoothly without any kind of problem. So that's why HRD philosophy is necessary. The next point is welfare. Welfare here means the employee, means the company is considering the welfare of the employees by providing various benefits, various facilities. So HRD philosophy actually speaks about the welfare. It states what kind of plans the company has created, what kind of approach the company has towards the welfare of the employees. So that's why it is extremely necessary. And the next one is interest among employees. So when all these things become part of HRD philosophy, welfare, when they create trustworthy environment where they develop a sense of belongingness, so obviously employees will be more interested in their own development. They will be more focused in their own growth, so that they won't just be able to contribute to the growth of the company, but they can also understand that development of themselves actually is going to help them to go ahead in their career, to achieve their aspirations and desires. So it increases the interest among the employees to be more, we can say, to be more dedicated towards their own development. They will be more focused on learning more new things, gaining more knowledge, and learning about new types of skills, so that they can move ahead in their career. They can become some kind, we can say, they can become more and more beneficial towards the organization. So that leads to increase in interest among the employees. The next element which I am going to explain is what the factors to be considered while creating the HRD philosophy. So these are the factors, as you all can see on the screen, are the most important factors which are to be considered while creating HRD philosophy. So the first point here says that potential. Like I said, we cannot force development on human resource. For that, we need to understand their present capability, potential, competency, and then we need to guide them towards their own development. So that becomes most important part in, or most important factor to be considered. We need to understand the present potential, capability and competency of the employees, so that we can create a philosophy, we can create a program which is going to help to enhance such kind of potentials, where people, where employees will also be dedicated to improve or polish their potentials. So that is the first factor to be considered while creating HRD philosophy. The next point is participation and communication. Now employees must be encouraged to participate, to give their suggestions and ideas for any kind of changes in the HRD aspect or any kind of changes in the development program, and this participation must be properly communicated, and for that purpose employees are needed to be involved. Their suggestion must be regularly provided to the HRD department. It needs to be properly communicated to the HRD department. That's why these elements must become part of HRD philosophy. If they are not part of HRD philosophy, then the HRD department is not going to consider the opinion and the suggestions of the employees. Okay, the next one is opportunity for development. So the philosophy must state that we are just not going to provide you training or development programs where you can enhance your potential, where you can gain your knowledge, but we are also going to provide you opportunity where you will be able to apply those kind of knowledge and skills that you have learned. So proper opportunity for development needs to be provided. At the same time, proper opportunity for growth and promotion must also become part of HRD philosophy. So they must create such kind of programs where the people will get opportunity to develop themselves, so that they can benefit themselves first by achieving their aspirations and goals. The next one is retaining. So HRD is focused about development of human resource. And what if these human resource who are trained and developed leave the organization and join another organization? That is going to be a huge loss for the company. So retainment of all those people who are going through HRD programs, and or all the employees working in the organization must become part of HRD philosophy. They must have a strong point of view regarding retention of the employees by providing various elements like reward system, compensation, quality of work life. So these are the three elements which contribute towards retaining of human resource. So the reward system actually is a system which provides reward to the employees who have performed well, who have done exceptionally well, either in the form of either in monetary form or non-monetary form. So reward system must be there, and they must become part of HRD philosophy also. The next one is compensation. Obviously, each and everyone who is working in the organization will be compensated. But this compensation must be fair in terms of the job, in terms of the qualification and specifications of the employee. So the compensation policy must become part of HRD philosophy, so that the people will be encouraged to go through the developmental program, so that they can go to a higher position, they can get higher salary, they can get fair compensation. So these must be a part of HRD philosophy. The next one is quality of work life. So work life, the quality of work life is to be developed by providing better facilities, different kinds of improvements and all that. So that must be the most important concern and part of HRD philosophy. The company must state in the philosophy what kind of work life they want to provide to the employees, so that they can work under a stress free environment, where they can achieve success, where they can work in a extremely good quality or good working condition. Next one is continuous function. So HRD is not a one-time function, it is a continuous function. Necessary improvements are needed to be done, necessary modifications are needed to be done, and this needs to become a part of HRD philosophy. That once a program or once a session is created, it is not going to stay in the organization forever. It needs to be modified, it needs to be developed, and the people who are working in the company are needed to be developed through various types of session. So the element of continuous function needs to become part of HRD philosophy. The next one is vision, mission, objectives and strategies. So vision, mission, objectives and strategies are an integral part of the HRD, or we can say vision, mission, objectives and strategies of the organization are the basis of HRD philosophy. So these elements must be reflected in the HRD policy. These are the basic foundation of HRD policy, HRD philosophy. We simply cannot create a HRD philosophy which is different or contradictory to the vision mission of the organization. So whatever philosophy is created by the organization must be in accordance to the vision mission of the organization. Okay, so these are the factors which are needed to be considered while formulating HRD philosophy. The next one is philosophy of HRD in Indian companies. I have mentioned two companies and I'll just give an example that TISCO and ITC are the two biggest companies of India, and they have understood the development, how necessary is the development of human resource within the organization. So these two companies has a different philosophy regarding HRD. They focus on the development of human resource. They understand the needs and aspirations of the people working within the organization, and they have created different programs, different benefit plans, welfare plans for the development of human resource. So these two companies are more dedicated towards the development of human resource in the Indian scenario. Okay. So in this session, I have, as you have already seen that I have explained about HRD philosophy. So this is the last topic of Unit 2. In the next session, I am going to explain a case study. I am going to explain what are the different elements of the case study, and then your second unit will be over. So that's it for today. We will meet in the next session. Thank you.